It stood on a quiet, tree-lined street, an old house with undeniable charm, a perfect new beginning, or so Sarah and Mark naively thought, unaware of its dark, hidden past, filled with dreams and plans. The young couple saw only potential. They were eager to make it their own, to fill its empty rooms with life and laughter. But a persistent, unnatural chill seemed to cling to the master bedroom, a cold that defied explanation, even on the warmest summer days. Then came the whispers, faint, indistinct, just beyond hearing. They echoed in the silent hours, like secrets trying desperately to break free, a creeping sensation of being constantly watched. The house's silence felt heavy, pregnant with unseen eyes, observing every move. Mark, ever the pragmatist, dismissed Sarah's growing fears. "Just the old house settling, darling," he'd say, trying to reassure himself as much as her. But Sarah knew it was more. The very air itself felt charged with a lingering despair, a palpable weight of past sorrows. One afternoon, while painting the dining room, Sarah noticed something ODD, a strange, persistent discoloration on an otherwise pristine wall. She tapped it gently, then harder, with a curious knuckle. A distinct, hollow sound echoed. Not solid, like the rest of the sturdy wall. Mark, hearing the taps, finally joined her, his skepticism wavering, replaced by a cautious curiosity, a flicker of apprehension in his eyes. A small section, just behind a built-in bookshelf. They exchanged a look, a silent agreement. They had to investigate further. Whatever lay behind lay with a creak and a grind. The old plaster finally gave way. A hidden, dark compartment slowly, reluctantly revealed itself. Inside, tucked away, an old, leather-bound diary, and something else, a faded silk scarf, its once vibrant color muted by time. The diary's cover was ominously stained, a dark, rusted color that could only be dried ancient blood. A chilling, undeniable truth. Sarah's hands trembled visibly as she carefully opened the diary. The first entry, dated 1957, a woman's elegant but increasingly nervous script. It belonged to Eleanor Vance. Her early entries spoke of blooming love, of a new life in this very house, filled with hope and excitement. But the tone quickly, subtly shifted. Hints of discord, of a husband's growing resentment, a darkening cloud overshadowing their fragile happiness. Eleanor wrote of escalating fear, of her husband's unpredictable, chilling rage. "He watches me," she penned, "always watching, always there." The entries painted a grim, suffocating picture of isolation, trapped within these very walls, with her tormentor, her world shrinking daily. The last legible entry was utterly chilling, a desperate plea for someone, anyone, to find her before it was too late. And then the unbearable truth. Her husband, unable to bear her nagging, had silenced her permanently. A monstrous act. He had sealed her within the very walls of the house, just a few feet from their shared bedroom. A horrific, silent burial as they read the final, horrifying words. The house itself seemed to react. The whispers intensified. The cold grew biting, clawing at them. Sarah was paralyzed by the sheer horror of it all. Eleanor's suffering was now palpable, a scream trapped within the very air. Mark, too, felt it. The weight of his earlier disbelief, now a crushing guilt. He had to do something to right this decades-old wrong. They knew, with chilling certainty, what they had to do. Eleanor's voice, silent for decades, demanded justice, and they would provide it with heavy hearts and a borrowed sledgehammer. Mark began to break down the wall, each thunderous blow a somber echo through the house. Behind the crumbling plaster, a skeletal hand, fragile, yellowed, wrapped in the faded silk scarf. Eleanor, finally, horrifically found. The police arrived. Forensic teams swarmed the quiet house. A decades-old mystery. A true crime. Finally, irrefutably solved. Eleanor Vance had been found, and finally laid to rest with dignity. Her tormented spirit could now, perhaps, find some peace, but her presence still lingered, a quiet, knowing energy. The house felt lighter, yet still bore the scars of her unbearable suffering. Mark and Sarah, forever changed by the harrowing ordeal. The house, no longer just a home, but a tomb, a silent witness to a dark past. It now held a new, somber meaning, a monument to a life brutally lost, and a truth that refused to be silenced by time or malice. Sometimes they still heard whispers, but now they felt different. Less fear, more a gentle, profound sense of gratitude. The very walls had held a dark secret for decades. A secret waiting for someone brave enough to finally listen and act. Every old house holds untold stories, but some hold true horror, waiting patiently to be unearthed by the unsuspecting. Eleanor's story serves as a chilling warning. The past is never truly buried. It lingers in the very foundations of our homes. They learned that day the true weight of history, not just dates and names, but the echoes of human agony, trapped in time. Eleanor Vance's name, etched into their memory, her tragic tale, a permanent part of this house, a part of their own lives now. And so, the whispers from the walls ceased to be a threat. They became a solemn reminder of a secret revealed, a justice found,